Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now this video is going to be a little bit different to my usual content. I'm going to give an update on my YouTube journey and content creation journey so far. I'm roughly 3 months since my first upload, this video to be exact, and I alluded to the point in that first video that I'd give you updates about the YouTube and behind the scenes along the way. It's been an interesting few months, and this project has been unlike anything else I've ever tried. There's been a lot of learning and development, and it's been quite exciting. In this video, I'm going to share some key lessons and some key skills I've learnt since starting this channel. We'll also look over some of the analytics, some of my key moments, and answer the big question on whether any of this has been worth it. I always thought it would be quite insightful to share the perspective of a genuine small channel, not a channel that's already hit 1,000 subscribers or even more, or was an overnight sensation. Hopefully this will give you more of a realistic and more transparent look of what it takes behind the scenes. If you're thinking of starting your own channel or just want to look behind the scenes, then this one's for you. Okay, so straight away let's look at the timeline. You can see here that technically my channel has existed since January of this year. Then there's a large gap. Now this isn't because I decided to pack it in straight away. This was my way of making it official and start as I mean to go on. The main challenge for me from this point onwards is that I don't come from a creative background and I've never actually filmed or edited a video before. I spent the next 6 months essentially learning how to do all of this, which leads me into my first section of the video where I'm going to break down all the skills that I've developed to achieve this. So straight off the bat, it was in the form of tech. So researching what camera to buy and learning how to actually use that camera and get it set up for video. Next, I researched microphones and lighting to make sure I had the best backdrop and visuals for my channel. It's worth noting at this point, you could definitely have just used your iPhone or any smartphone for that matter with a microphone. I ended up going down a bit of a rabbit hole and probably overspent in this area, but you absolutely don't have to do that. The next key skill was learning how to actually edit videos. This section was probably the bulk of those 6 months, but it all started with finding which software to use to actually edit the videos. I looked through a few platforms, but the one I kept coming back to and hearing time and time again was CapCut. It seemed to be the most beginner friendly, and above all else, it was free. Now to actually skill up and learn how to edit videos, I watched hours and hours of YouTube videos and how-to videos on cropping, editing, all those sorts of things. Granted, my videos aren't the most slick at the moment, but I don't think they're too bad for someone who didn't know how to even edit a single video a few months ago. Moving on to the next one, and that's in the form of creating thumbnails. This is one area I massively overlooked and it took me by surprise. I see thumbnails all the time on YouTube and always think, right, it's a photo, maybe a bit of text, 5-minute job, but that's really not the case. I'm still very much in the learning phase of this, looking to get better and better at this, but I actually use Canva to create my thumbnails, so that might be worth having a look at. The next was scripting, so learning how to write a good video plan. Now there's loads of different topics and sectors within YouTube. For my sorts of videos, there's a lot of data and research that has to go in it, so I found by having a strict script, it keeps me structured and to the point. My next point here was actually speaking into a camera, which might sound quite simple. I can't begin to stress how hard this specific point has been to me. It's been the biggest hurdle of them all. I'm sure for many people, talking into a camera might come naturally, and certainly when you're watching other YouTubers, it definitely comes across that way. But for me, I get 4 words in and my brain freezes and I have to retake and retake. I honestly thought I'd be able to just hit record and all the words would just come out, but that's really not been the case. I'm sure I'm not the only content creator who feels this way. Now the one good thing here is that it does get easier, so if you are thinking of doing a YouTube channel and are a bit nervous about this part, it does get easier the more you do it. I'm definitely getting more comfortable with this part. The final point here is in the form of learning the platform itself. So learning my way around YouTube and how it all works. This leads me nicely into my next part, so let's have a little look at some of the analytics. So diving into some of these analytics, this is the screen that you'll see behind the scenes essentially. This is a timeline of since my first upload here, so you can see there on the 22nd of June that was my first upload, and each of these boxes are essentially each time I've put a video up online. Gives you my total view count, 609 views. I don't know if that's good or not so great for a new channel and kind of been 3 months in. But you can also see how there's been some sort of peaks and dips in this as well. So this is all stuff that I've had to learn. And it's also about learning what kind of makes your viewers tick almost. So hopefully we'll keep seeing this grow over the long run. You can also see my latest video here. This did really well for my channel, and I had a lot of views and sort of interaction with that. If I move over to the impressions part, so the impressions is essentially how many times your video has displayed on someone's screen. Whether they've clicked on it or not, it's been there, and they've seen it. So that's how many times your video has been there. And again, it follows a similar sort of path as my views, really. The impression rate has been quite low for me when I've compared it to other channels. It's been quite low, so I'm still working out how to try and boost that. But again, you can kind of see, as per the view count and the trend with the views, the impressions went up recently as well. Impressions to click-through rate, so again, that's of the time that your video has been on someone's screen, how many of those have actually clicked it to watch your video. And again, this seems a little bit sporadic. Some days it's higher, some days it's lower, and then you've got your average view duration there as well. On this, I think some of the interesting stuff here is probably in the content section. So you can see a video I've got scheduled that I'm currently working on here. That's why there's no data on that. But if I scroll down to my video here, that's my first video, you can see the view count has roughly been going in the right direction. It gives you some quick line stats of how many people have liked the video as well. And then, as I mentioned before, we had that latest video that kind of did a lot better than any of my other videos. So still trying to work out exactly why that is, but I'll take it. Within these, you can also look at that particular video's analytics. If you click on here, you can see this video got 341 views, and you can see as per each time what that looked like, and the total watch time. So it's a bit mad to think that that video that was around sort of 10 minutes has nearly 14 hours of watch time, which makes you think 14 hours of people having to watch me. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there you go. And it'll also tell you how many subscribers you've gained off that particular video, which I think is quite a good, a good graphic. Reach as well, so that'll look at your impressions, click-through rate, and similar stuff as before. So if I go back to this page, go on content, scroll down here to top videos. So if I just put of lifetime, again, you can set whatever sort of time range you want there. But yeah, this kind of shows you a quick snapshot. You can then put your videos in order of, impressions. So you can see here quickly, this video was obviously the biggest as we've covered, and it's kind of filtered down. Just really great graphics, but I kind of wanted to show this as a quick snapshot. It's probably the stuff that a typical viewer doesn't see. These are the screens that we kind of work off, I guess. And I end up spending far too much time looking through this analytics tab to just see if there's any inkling to, why did that video potentially work better than other ones, and kind of go from there. So yeah, you can see here I've got a total of 26.1 hours of watch time. So yeah, I've got a total of 20 subscribers. So if I go back to dashboard, I think that gives that as a snapshot. Yeah, there. So here, it also gives you a few little graphics about which is your highest performing video. So yeah, I'm not too fussed about the numbers. I know there's probably a lot of YouTubers out there that are really focused on the numbers, but just the fact I've got 20 people who were interested enough to subscribe to my channel satisfies me. Obviously, I'd welcome more, but that's kind of not the end goal of the channel. So yeah, I hope that gives you a bit of an insight to the analytics tab and what we see. And yeah, I'll move straight into the next part of the video now. Now, the data might be interesting for some people, but for me, there's been some personal favourite videos and also moments. So let's take a little look at those. Now, my favourite videos I've made so far are these two. The first video was how to save for your first house fast, and the second video was a fairly recent one on junior ISAs. Now, the view count on these videos are possibly my worst performing videos on my channel, but they're still some of my favourite. I'm really happy with the content and the value I feel I added with these videos. Above all else, I actually had quite a bit of fun making these videos. On this particular video, it was actually inspired by my brother. So my brother is currently in the stages of looking to buy his first home. He kept asking me various questions on costs and what the process is, so I simply decided to make a video on it. So above all else, he benefited from it. So Archie, if you're watching, thank you for the idea. The second video I mentioned was the video covering junior ISAs and how to best use them. This video too was inspired by a family member, but it was a new family member. And this was by my daughter, who arrived in August this year. Again here, I was going to be investing some money for her over the long term anyway, so I simply decided to turn this into a video. If you're a parent looking to invest for your child's future, then I'd definitely give that video a watch. I think it's got some really useful information. If you haven't watched this one, it's actually going to form the start of a new series I'm going to publish where I give portfolio updates on this particular investment. Moving on to another key moment, so this isn't a video itself, but it's actually a comment I received. This is one of the few comments I've had on my videos and it really stood out. It's comments like this that have kept me driven and focused on the end goal. If you happen to be watching this video, then thank you. And finally, another highlight, and technically this has been happening over the last 3 months, but that's in the form of those first few subscribers that I have received. I'm sure other content creators will relate to this, but those first few subscribers feel so important. The fact that some people saw a video, saw that the channel had next to no subscribers but took a chance and made that decision to subscribe really means a lot. Each time someone subscribes, it really makes us think that this is worth it and we are delivering value and to continue doing this. So to round off this video, I guess I've got to answer the question on whether this has been worth it. For me, the answer is a resounding yes, but it's not for the reasons you might think. Now, some people might look at the subscribers and the view count and think that is not a lot for 3 months' work. So what are you getting out of this? The journey so far has been more about the other things that I've developed. So I've developed a whole host of new skills when it comes to sound, lighting, filming, even speaking in front of a camera has helped boost my confidence levels. Taking a video from an idea to a script to filming then editing has probably improved my workflow efficiency as well. I've also learned a lot about myself in terms of staying consistent, stay patient, and also embrace the journey. I think if this video even inspires just one person to either start a YouTube channel or pursue that passion they've been putting off for years, then it's probably been worth it. My advice is just do it. It doesn't need to be perfect, but you just need to make a start. Before I end this video, I invite you to like and subscribe for any future YouTube updates. Please do leave any feedback or thoughts in the comment section and I will reply to you. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.